the Cherry Purls podcast. This is episode 71. We are a knitting and spinning podcast coming to you every other week from right outside New Orleans, Louisiana, and we are so happy that you're here with us today. I am Robin.
I'm Mary.
You can find me as Teenybutton on Instagram and Ravelry, and my Etsy shop is Teenybutton Studio, where I sell hand-dyed yarn.
On Ravelry, I am Snippin' Fool, and on Instagram, I am Cherry Purls Mary.
I looked over at you and I realized our mannequin is naked today.
Well, nobody can see because my head's in the way.
Your head's in the way.
So I'm being the piece of black tape that covers the naughty parts.
We have a podcast group on Ravelry. It is Cherry Purls Podcast, and it'll be linked down below, and that's where you can find the show notes and all the links for everything we're going to talk about today, as well as our chatter and finished objects threads for our knit-alongs, except for the socks and Space KAL, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Well, we have part of it.
Yeah.
50%.
Yeah, so we have some fun stuff today to talk about. We have finished objects. We are going to announce the winner for our Your Pink Starburst pattern
giveaway.
We're going to talk about our knit-alongs. We have some stash, all that good stuff. So let's do the pattern giveaway winner.
Okay, we locked the thread and we chose a winner, and the winner of the Your Pink Starburst shawl by Naomi Grace Designs is Colson 111322, which is Kelly from Escondido, California.
Well,
Hope
that's
I
fun
said
to
that right.
say.
Escondido. I think I added an extra vowel in there, California. So congratulations to Kelly. Kelly, get in touch with us within the next 2 weeks, and we will let Naomi know that you have won the shawl. If we don't hear from Kelly by the time we podcast next time, we will draw a new winner. Yep. So congratulations to Kelly.
And thank you, Naomi, for the pattern donation.
Absolutely.
So we have 2 knit-alongs currently going on. You want to talk about the C is for Caring?
Sure. We are entering the final days of the C is for Caring make-along that we started at the beginning of October. It started October the 1st and will run until November 15th. What you need to do for this make-along is to make something for a cancer patient. So the reason why it's a make-along is you can knit, crochet, sew, whatever your heart's desire is in terms of making something for a cancer patient. And then you can post that to our finished objects thread, a picture of that. And if you want to participate, you can go ahead and talk in the chatter thread, because we will be drawing prizes for both. We showed the prize for the finished objects winner at our last podcast, so if you'd like to go and see what that was, you can go check that out. And we would love to thank Tiffany of Southern Sparrow Handmade for donating the prize for our finished objects thread, and we will choose a pattern prize from the chatter thread. So that ends on the 15th. We will close the thread at midnight on the 15th, and the winners will be announced on our next podcast.
Cool beans. We have another knit-along going on right now. That is the Socks and Space KAL 2017. We are co-hosting this with the wonderful Candace at Pin Feathers and Pearls, or at the Pin Feathers and Pearls podcast. We have split it up to where she is hosting the chatter thread and we are hosting the finished objects thread. So it's just easier to consolidate down to one thread, for prizes and everything. So go chat in her thread and post your finished objects in our thread. Basically, the rules are you have to knit a space-themed pair of socks. It either has to be space-themed by colorway name or by pattern. We do have a bundle in our Ravelry group. That's our space-themed sock bundle. If you're stuck on ideas, or if you have a yarn that you just really want to use and you want it to count, so you need a space-themed sock. We do have a bundle for that.
And if you think of a pattern that's not in our bundle, let us know so we can add it.
Yeah. So, whips do not count. That's new for this year. I keep forgetting that. Whips will not count, so it has to be cast on from November 1st, and it has to be finished by the end of the year, December 31st. Am I forgetting anything?
Well, what I forgot to mention for the other make-along and for this KAL is you need to be a member of the podcast groups to be eligible for a prize. So both of the make-along and knit-along, we have the pattern rules at the top of the threads in our Ravelry groups.
The knit-along rules.
Knit-along rules. What did I say?
Pattern rules.
Oh, yeah. We have the rules listed at the top of the thread, so if you have any questions after reading those, please feel free to contact us and we will clear up or any confusion there may be.
Yep. I love this knit along. Super fun. I've started mine. I'll show y'all in a second.
I finished
Somebody's
mine.
already finished a pair. We have a couple finished objects already, so y'all are quick. 10 days to knit a sock. That's pretty good. So, is that all of our administrative stuff?
We do have a coupon code.
That's right.
We have a ongoing coupon code by the designer Kat Thorley. Words are hard. Kat Thorley, thank you to Kat, and she is offering this coupon code to viewers of our podcast. It will run until March of 2018, and the coupon code is Purls 20, and if you forget that, it will be listed in the show notes for this podcast.
Yes. One more thing, I'm going to go ahead and say it here instead of at the end. For those of you on the Gulf Coast, I am currently having a trunk show at the French Knot in Diamond Head, Mississippi. I actually haven't talked about it much. I haven't mentioned it at all on Instagram. I've just been so busy this month, or these past couple weeks, but it is at the French Knot in Diamond Head, Mississippi. They have had it since Tuesday, and I think they'll have it possibly another week or so. So if
they have not given you an end date.
No, they haven't. So I guess it just depends on how long, how much yarn hangs around. They're a nice little store. They have a really nice knitting area. They have several rooms of yarn, so it's a fairly large store.
It's a very nice store. Yeah.
So if that interests you and you're local, feel free to stop by. So we have finished objects.
Yes, we do.
You want to go first?
Sure. Do you want me just to do
your hat.
The same things all at once?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. I have more hats. My plan was to continue to knit hats until I had my oncology appointment, which was this week. So now I am going to give hats a break. So if you're tired of seeing hats, you'll be happy about this. All of these are just a basic hat. I don't have a pattern. I just cast on a certain number of stitches, knit to a length that I thought looked good, and then decreased. So there is no pattern for these. But this is the first hat. This is knit in Barocco Comfort in the color 2753 teal. This one is knit in Knit Pick Swish Worsted in the colorway Garnet Heather. This one is knit in Cascade Pacific and the color is 43 Ruby, and the white is Red Heart Soft Solids and Heather in 4600 white. This one is knit in Loops and Threads Impeccable Ombre.
That pooling is cool.
Yeah, and the colorway is Earth Ombre. And this last one, I cannot find the ball bands.
That's the one Pearl was playing with.
Yeah, these are. This was 2 skeins of yarn. Well, actually, it's about a skein and a half of yarn that I bought a couple of years ago at the Magnolia. Was it Magnolia
State?
Magnolia State Fiber Festival,
which they no longer do.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. But anyway, I don't know why I bought this. This is not a typical yarn, but I really love the colors in it. Look how beautiful those colors are. But it is a yarn that has sari silk in it. So I just put it as Mystery Sari Silk. And again, a little bit different from these. I just knit and then did a 3-needle bind off at the top to make it similar to a kitty ears hat. Yeah. So these hats will go into the bag, and next time I'm giving away hats, I will pull from there. Yeah. So those are most of my finished objects for this week. I just have one more.
Yeah. So we both have a pair of socks finished this week.
Yeah.
Crazy sauce that you finished some socks.
I know.
I can't remember the last time you knit socks.
Well,
since we've been podcasting, but it's been...
Oh, well, yeah, you can go back and look at my project pages. I mean, it was this year.
Yeah. This year? Yeah, I guess so. Well, you had that issue. Are you going to talk about your issues?
I can talk about my issue. so many.
Yeah. These
sock issue, though. Oops, sorry. Bum table.
These are my socks. These are out of my Sprinkle Spice Latte colorway, which I just put 2 skeins into the shop, and I think they're still there, so if you are interested, it is available on Soft Sock, which is what this is. I used my Chicory colorway for heels, toes, and cuffs. And I was originally worried because I've never done heels, toes, and cuffs out of a 20-gram mini before, and I had plenty left over. So if you're out there wondering, you know, if you can get heels, toes, and cuffs, you can. At least I could. I think I only did 15 rows for the ribbing. So if you do more than that, I can't guarantee. But
well, you said you had plenty left.
Yeah.
So you probably could go more.
Mm-hmm. So I'm really happy these are done. They're super cute. I love this colorway, and it seems like a lot of people do too.
Yeah, it is a fun colorway.
Yeah. Not a whole lot to say. They're vanilla socks. I knit them toe up. I cast on 24. I increased to 68. And I put in Fish Lips Kiss heel because that is
your heel of choice.
The heel that fits me the bestest. So that is basically it. I used a US 1, which is my needle of choice for socks. And they are finished. So,
ta-da!
I love these sock blockers. I'm thinking about getting another pair or two because they have the hearts on them. I got them from Alex's Workshop on Etsy, I think.
Have you seen the bunny ones?
Yes. They're so cute. They're so cute. I love sock blockers. I have so many sock blockers.
Have you seen the fox ones?
I saw from one company, but I didn't care for the silhouette. But I do like the hearts. The hearts are really cute. So that is my finished object for this week. Or this episode.
Oh,
you threw them over there.
You disturbed someone's sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have my pair of socks. And this is my pair of socks for the Socks in Space KAL. And I have 2 pairs. I do shorty socks because I am not really big on having things, you know, socks up my leg. One of the reasons why I haven't knit socks in a long time is I didn't like the fit. And I went back and I tried on all the socks that I had knit. And I found that somewhere along the line, I went down a needle size. And what was bothering me is I felt
you couldn't figure it out because they all had the same stitch count.
Yeah, and I don't know what caused me to go down a needle size.
Yeah.
I think what it was is I just assumed that I used your needle size.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back and looked at my earlier socks, which fit me better, and those were knit in a 1.5 instead of a 1. So
that 0.25 millimeters makes a huge difference.
For me, it does.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like them as tight. I mean, I could get them on and everything, but I
hate whenever they pull over your instep.
Well, the sock pattern that I feel works best for me incorporates 3 patterns. I do a rounded toe by Tanya Murray. When I was doing up the show notes, I noticed that she's taken that pattern off Ravelry. The heel that I use is the same heel as Robin, which is the Fish Lips Kiss heel, but I also do add the gusset, the little mini gusset that Mina's vanilla sock recipe uses. So this kind of incorporates 3 different patterns because I felt like they were pulling across my instep. Yeah, and so this adds a little extra little gusset that you put into your socks so that they fit you better. Or at least they're not as pulling.
Mina of the Knitting Expat?
Yes, Mina of the Knitting Expat. So all those patterns are listed on my project page. I'm pretty good about making project pages for all of my patterns, and I try to remember when I do modifications to put those there as well. So these socks are finished, and they are knit in Teenybutton Studio Soft Sock, and the colorway is Alonzi because it refers to my favorite doctor. So I'm very happy with these socks, so much so that I cast on another pair, which I'll talk about in a minute.
Mm-hmm. How many whips you got?
Just the one.
Okay, so I will go next. I'm in the middle of a row, but let me finish. No, I'll just finish later. It's okay. So my first whip is my Vulpix shawl. This is a pattern by, this is a pattern by Stephen West. And I put a good amount of work into it. It doesn't look like a lot from the front. But I think I was in the middle of this the Intarsia chart last time. But I put a lot of work on the sides. These are all short rows on each side. So that is mostly what I did this week. And if I have the pattern, now I have the pattern on me. There's another like swath of the bronze. And then you do more short rows with the stripes. So, this is Teenybutton Studio Silky Sock, which is my 80-20 silk merino. Merino and silk. Merino is the 80, silk is the 20. And this is Wit Beyond Measure and Man's Greatest Treasure.
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw colors, because blue and bronze,
Because
not
Ravenclaw.
blue and gray. Yeah. So, not a whole lot to talk about. I'm using size 3s, the Luca needles, the driftwood ones. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ordered some more of them this week, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I really love these needles, and it's like the silk is nice and slippery, and you get some nice tones in there.
And a bit of sheen.
And some of the little sheen. Yes, I'm really...
What is this?
I don't know. It's a bit of fuzz. That is weird. It looks like tape. Anyway.
I know. That's what moving around. Yeah. I'm like, what's that?
So this is one of my current whips that I'm working on. I haven't touched it in a couple of days. Because I've been a little distracted because I renewed my World of Warcraft subscription. Because BlizzCon gets me every year, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay, because not a lot of people do. So that's where my time has been mostly. But I did, enough work to show y'all.
Yeah,
so
I think so.
Yeah, so that's my first whip.
Okay, talk about mine?
Sure.
Okay, well, because somebody has been naughty lately, I have had to move all of my works in progress into project bags. Normally, I knit in my knitting chair, and usually someone leaves the yarn alone. But the last 24 hours, she is in Pearl, has been obsessed with yarn, and anything that she can pull out and bat around, she's been doing it.
In the time it took us to get ready to film this, she knocked over and carried through the house about 5 skeins.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is another pair of socks that I'm working on. I do my socks 2 at a time. Concurrently. So I have 2 socks going. I'm using the same recipe as the other pair of socks. So it's you see the rounded toe here, and then I will use the other 2, the Fish Lips Kiss Heel and Mina sock recipe to do the heel, and then I will go as long as I can get all of my stripes in. So this...
If you do the Fish Lips Kiss Heel, it's going to mess with the striping. Does that bother you?
What do you mean mess with the striping?
Like, you're going to have funky stripes on the heels.
Yeah.
That bothers me, but it doesn't bother some people. I'm just curious.
I haven't 100% decided. Most of the time it doesn't bother me when I do a striped heel.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't 100% decided on that one.
I did white heels and toes for mine.
I really do not want to do white.
Mm.
So I'm not sure. We'll have to see how this comes out next podcast. But this yarn is Mustache Yarns, and the colorway is Kama Sutra, and it has 20 different colored stripes. So normally I do a shorty sock, but I don't know how far I have to knit until I get all 20 colors in the yarn. So obviously they'll be taller if I do the contrasting heel.
Yeah.
But
you can look at mine whenever we're done, because
I don't remember what yours looks like.
No, but you can see how long the repeat is.
Oh, okay. I didn't think of that. Yeah. So anyway, this is some yarn that I bought when we went to DFW Fiberfest the first time, so 2 years ago, and I was going to use this for a pair of fingerless gloves because I thought they would be beautiful gloves, but then I started thinking, because fingerless gloves are knit from the wrist to the tip of the fingers, there's no way for me to figure out how long to make them, and so I want to make sure I got all my 20 stripes in. Yeah. So if that makes sense. So I decided to go ahead and cast on another pair of socks because I enjoyed that pair of socks that I just completed so much.
You're a convert to the sock, the Church of Sock.
Well, I think a lot of the things working in his favor also is that it is November and it's finally cooled off. Some people wear socks around the house year-round, but I don't. So I do only wear them when my feet.
You're wearing some right now.
I know, because my feet were cold. So that might be why I'm feeling more socky than normal. So that's my only work in progress right now. Really, I did start a shawl, but I've only done 4 rows on it, so it may be this big. Literally this many stitches on the needle. And maybe this long, so I wasn't really going to show it as a work in progress because there's nothing to look at, So that's it for now.
Yeah. So my next work in progress is in a bag from Cabin Creek Creations. She was a vendor at End of the Wool, and we did a swap. And I thought it matched this yarn, like,
it does
perfectly. So this is, again, on my silky sock base. And the colorway, it's a funny story with this. I have a colorway called Spectra Specs, which is based off of Luna Lovegood's glasses from the Quibbler. And this was actually a first draft of that, but I didn't like how watercolory and pastel it was. I wanted more of a pop of the speckles. So I have referred to this before as Spectra Specs, but now I like it so much, I think I'm going to intentionally dye it this way and call it, maybe tweak it, maybe change a couple of the colors, and call it Shell Cottage, another Harry Potter colorway. So it's getting washed out because of the silk, but
maybe if you pull it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the color shows okay here.
So I am knitting the Raina Shawl, which is a pattern by, you should know this, but I don't. Nora Laviola. Is that how you say it?
Nora Laviola, that's what I would say.
Yeah. So
oh,
it is.
Lavola.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I knew that wasn't
Lavola.
quite right.
Sorry.
This is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's just these little eyelets with some garter in between, but it's so simple and it works so well. It's a great pattern.
I've knit this one as well.
Yeah. So I'm just going to knit until I run out of yarn.
That's what you can do with this one, which is why it's such a wonderful pattern.
I think I'm close to finishing. I think I just have the end of this eyelets and then the garlet. The end of these eyelets and then the garter rows. The garlet.
I would keep going for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to keep going. Just because I like big shawls and, this will stretch like, a good amount. But, yeah, I just want to use up all the yarn. So I will dye this and have it for next.
I think if you hold it back, it's not as blown out.
Yeah, I will dye this and have it for next week's shop update. And it matches my nails. What? I love matching. Y'all know that. So that is my second work in progress. And I have one more that I'm going to talk about and one that is pre-work in progress. Don't fall. So this is my Socks in Space project. In my Space Kitties bag from Lynette Sunshine and Bubblegum. And this one is Pearl.
Which one? Oh, yes.
So I am knitting in mustache yarn as well. It's funny, we're both knitting with our mustache this week. This is Mustache Yarns, and it is her must match put up, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
It's two
perfectly
matching skeins. So this is just a little 50-gram ball. Pardon me, I forgot to mute my phone. And this is her Leia colorway, which is one of her Star Wars inspired colors. So this is what I have so far. And these are actually going to be socks for my boyfriend Larry. So I cast on 72. And I'm going to increase to 76. I think I already have, actually.
As you get close to the heel?
Yeah, at some point I'm going to increase to 76. And I am going to do an afterthought heel because he likes the fit of those the best. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it in because I am brave now and I don't put in waste yarn because I ain't no baby. Although if you need waste yarn, there's nothing wrong with that. But
you like to live on the edge.
Yeah, I'm living dangerously. Now that I've done it, it doesn't seem like such a big deal.
I think that's what everybody says when you have to cut your yarn. Like when people talk about doing steeking and all that, it's you're panicking because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm cutting the yarn, and then after they do it, they're like, it wasn't so bad.
Yeah. I mean, whenever you think about it, if you put waste yarn in, you still have live stitches whenever you pull it out anyway. I mean, technically, you pick it up before you pull waste yarn out, but you do that whenever you cut it in too. So
you just be careful.
Yeah. So not a whole lot to say here. I'm using the Zings. I like them okay. You thought they had a little bit of drag, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them okay. They're not bothering me that much. They're inoffensive. I don't love them. I think I like the...
We can talk about this at the end.
Yeah, we'll talk about this at the end. We have a question for you guys. But that is the first sock. So those are my works in progress. I do have something that I've started tonight. I have decided to knit another sweater.
Well, both of us are going to
We are going to do the sweater thing.
Well, we are thinking about going to Rhinebeck.
Yeah, we're thinking about it. We're still thinking about it.
Kind of like they say on what is it, 90 Day Fiance? We're like 90% yes.
Yeah.
Like this woman, I love him 90%.
Yeah, that's our guilty pleasure. But I figured with this colorway, if I'm at Rhinebeck or at a show and I'm like, if you see me, you will see me.
You're not going to miss
in
Robin.
this color, and it does not look as neon on the screen as it is in person.
No.
This is like...
No, pull it back.
But even then...
It's still not showing.
This would glow under a black light.
We're both going to wear pink.
We are. Yeah, that's exciting. So I'm doing a swatch, obviously. I ordered these needles. These are, again, the Luca needles. Hope I'm saying that right. I feel like an idiot.
I think it's like leaky.
Maybe.
I think it's leaky.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. These are a US 4, and I actually had to order them, and I'll show the rest of what I got in the order in a second. But I'm just doing a little gauge swatch. I have a couple of patterns in mind, so I'm going to see what gauge I get and then pick from there. Yeah. Yeah, usually it's the other way around, but I'm kind of, we'll see what I pick. But this is my soft sock base. I've actually never knit a sweater in soft sock. I've knit a sweater in my MCN base. But I think this will be nice with the nylon content. And it's a little bit of a lighter weight than the MCN. The MCN is almost like a sport weight. It's like a heavy fingering. So this is a lighter fingering, so it might be a little bit breezier. So I started that literally like 2 hours ago. So
yeah, I haven't done my gauge swatch yet. Yeah, I have chosen my pattern, but
yeah, every other sweater I've knit, I've done pattern first, then a gauge swatch. But I'm just doing it this way, this time, for fun,
seeing how it goes.
Yeah. For a long time, I put off knitting a sweater, thinking, oh, I'm gonna lose, a couple more pounds, and then I'll knit a sweater. But there was a quote from Clara Park's new book where she talks about that, and it kind of inspired me to just go ahead and do it now.
A Statue of One
Yeah,
time?
The new one. Yes, I ordered it from Amazon, but Amazon's dragging their feet like they do. Yeah, but it's okay. But whenever I have the quote, I'll put it in here. I'll talk about it on Instagram, but I don't have the exact quote. But it's very inspirational. So,
it's a good book. I read it.
You read it? You have it already?
I don't have it. I read it through the library.
Oh. Yeah, I was going to buy it at Barnes & Noble, but Barnes & Noble wanted like twice as much as they were charging on Amazon. And there's only so much that instant gratification is worth, So anyway, we have some Throw Me Something, Mister, some stash. You want to do this first?
Sure.
So was it you or was it me who said you were going to order?
Me.
Oh, yeah. So you were going to order from this company, and I'm like, I've been wanting to order from them for forever. So we went in together, and we got some gobstoppers.
This is from the Yarn Jar. See there? Yarn Jar. And this is their 2-ply fingering weight, and it is an 80/20 super wash merino nylon. The colorways
I got... 75/25. Is yours 80/20?
Mine's 80/20.
Interesting.
I chose 80/20.
Oh, I don't remember what I chose. I guess I chose 75/25.
So mine's a 2-ply. Yours is a 4-ply.
Oh, it is. Huh. Interesting.
So my 2 colorways are Mrs. Potts, and it came with a really cute little teapot. And then this one is, I am drawing a blank. Bigger on the inside. I knew it had to do something with a TARDIS, but I couldn't remember exactly which one it was. So bigger on the inside, Mrs. Potts. And what is yours?
Mine is After All This Time, which is an allusion to Snape from the Deathly Hallows, and I have a lot of feelings about this, but I really like the colorway, so that's why I picked it. I like the colors.
What do you mean you have a lot of feelings?
I don't like Snape. And I can talk for an hour about why I don't like Snape. And I know he gets his redemption arc, and...
He's very polarizing.
I don't like Snape. And I don't like the story with Lily and Snape, and I don't think it justifies all the horrible things that he did.
No, but people do act that way in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, what he did is definitely believable, unfortunately.
Yeah. I don't know. But I like this color.
I mean, the colors are beautiful.
So, and I love Harry Potter. And even if it's,
Well, look at it in terms of Lily.
I love Lily. Oh, Lily.
She was definitely lovable.
Yes.
And that's what it was about. He loved her.
So, Harry Potter tangent. Now over. Gorgeous yarn.
From the Yarn Jar.
I am always impressed with dyers who do gobstopper balls and don't charge extra. Because that is significantly more work. And I always appreciate it. But it is worth it. I mean, if you want it, it's worth paying more to get it because it's so much more work,
Well, you know, because you've
Yeah.
wound gobstoppers before out of your self-striping, and self-striping in itself is so labor intensive, and then to add a process on top of that is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love how it looks, and I'm happy to get it.
Yeah. So the yarn jar, fantastic. She has an Etsy shop, but she also has another shop, huh?
We will link them in the project notes.
Yeah. Cool beans. So that's the yarn acquisitions for this week. I got some extra little doodads this week. Oh, let's do these.
Okay. I was on a buying spree because there was the yarn jar, and then I wanted to buy some beautiful wooden things from Katrinkles. She has a website, and she does really cool things out of burned wood. So Robin and I decided that we would get us some name tags so that whenever we're at an event, people know who we are. Everybody knows Robin or Teenybutton, but people forget me.
It's Teenybutton's mom.
I'm either Teenybutton's mom or
Cherry.
they met Robin and her mother. So anyway, it's really cool. It's got this beautiful knit pattern, but there are a couple of other patterns you can choose, and you can choose the size. This is the larger of the two, and it has a magnetic back. So it's not something that would put a hole in the clothing that you're wearing.
Well, I just put it on my shawl and it's holding.
Yeah,
it's
so
fine.
This is really, really cool. I think it was
15. No, the earrings were 15.
I think it was $12.
Yeah.
So
very reasonably
this is
priced.
from Katrinkles. And then we also decided to get some knitting earrings, and Robin is wearing her.
I'm not, because
you took it off?
No, I didn't. I couldn't get them in. I think my piercings are crooked. I got them done at Claire's, and I think
you must have jumped.
Yeah, I think my piercings are crooked because it's hard to get them in.
So these are the smaller knitted earrings. She does have a pair that have larger discs on them, but here you can see her website at the bottom, katrinkles.com, and I think they're really, really cute. I think these were $15. The ear wires it says they're sterling silver, and then I'm not quite sure what wood this is. She does tell you on her website what the wood is. I know these are two different woods. I remember seeing that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, one is, I want to say birch, and the other one may be alder. I am not sure. But anyway, she does some really cool things. She's got.
Is she the one who did the little sheep?
The little sheep.
You can dress up the sheep. Was that her or was that somebody else?
No, I think that's somebody else.
Oh, never mind. Don't listen to me.
But she's got a lot of other knitting related tools. She's got rulers. She's got gauge rulers. She's got wraps per inch tools. All sorts of really cool nitty type things on her website. So if you're interested, the website will be in the show notes.
Check it out, y'all.
All right.
So I wanted to talk about this company. Art Yarn, etc. She is on Etsy, and it's Ellen Hudson Holwig. She does notions, and I believe she has some yarns and some bats and stuff, but I was really impressed with these. I ordered these Tuesday night, and they got here today, which is Friday, which is crazy fast.
Her price is good.
Her price is good. Her shipping price is really good. I was going to order them from Fringe, and they wanted $7 to ship one pair of needles, which I thought was a little much. So I ordered from her instead, and they came so quickly. I ordered from her before, and I was just really impressed with the service. She has all lengths, all sizes that I could see. I didn't see any that she was missing. She also has them in sets. So if you're looking for them, I would recommend her. I'm just really impressed with the customer service, shipping, that kind of stuff. Cool. So, little mention of that. And then I got one more thing this week. I got, we were not able to go to Rhinebeck this year. But
it's in the plans.
It's in the plans for next year. But I fell in love with the bag that Eloise designed. Eloise Narrigan, she is an artist that you may recognize. She did some of the stuff for Ravelry. So this was her Indie Untangled exclusive bag for this year. And I partly bought it because of this adorable fox wearing that sweater who is definitely me. Which one do you want to be?
Did you know you were on the bag?
Which one are you going to be? You want to be the sheep?
I think I'm the rabbit, because that's my face when I have yarn. That is my face when I have armful of yarn.
Adorable. So cute. So I got that. And even though I didn't go, it doesn't have the year on it, which I like because I can use it anytime, and I don't feel like I'm working the system because I didn't go, but I still got the bag, So I got the bag, and then I also got this pin they were offering. It's a little yarn shopping bag, and it says Stash Indie on it. And it's by Shelly Can, who does the I Feel Like Craft Today. And,
oh, yeah, you have her shirt.
Yeah, there's like a dye pot, and it says literally dying. And she does some skeins and stuff. She does pins, yarn-themed pins.
Really cute.
Very cute. So, I'm a fan of indie dyers, being an indie dyer myself. So I figure add it to the collection because I'm, collecting the enamel pins right now. So that is what I got from Indie Untangled. I'm playing with the idea of getting the La Bien-Aimée colorway. I think I'm going to go ahead and get it. I think I might go ahead and get two. Because I really want, it's a single, and I love singles.
She had you at singles?
Yeah, and it's La Bien-Aimée. It's so hard to get, and I love it so much, and the color's so pretty. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and get two.
Yeah, it's a pre-order, so.
Yeah. It's not going to ship till January, which is fine. But, it's easier than paying shipping from Paris. So.
Which was ugly when you did it.
Yeah. Oh, but I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we have a question? Is that
yes,
what
we kind of talked about it earlier. We thought we would start asking viewers questions at the end of our podcast. And so this week we thought we would talk a little bit more about needles. Robin kind of talked about it earlier when she's talking about the zings. What do you look for in a needle?
For a long time, I only knit with wooden needles, even for socks. Just because I don't like the slickness of some metal needles. I've kind of gotten over that a little bit, but I really do like the driftwood, the Luca, the Likey, whatever. I really like those, and I really did like the Royal, the Knitter's Pride, that are the wood with the metal tips, but I had one break on me, so I'm not feeling so great about those. But I do like wood if I can get it, and not bamboo, but I like wood. But for socks, I like probably high is the best.
Okay, so it depends on what you're knitting.
Yeah, it depends on what I'm knitting. And if I'm knitting singles, I definitely want wood. Because I feel like the metal can split them too easy.
I can see that. I don't knit with solo. I don't knit with singles. So but I can see, I've knit with plenty of splitty woods and splitty yarns. And yeah, that does cause a problem. Yeah. See, I'm the opposite. I'm a tight knitter. So I want something slick that will let the stitches glide along the needles. I think my favorite needle is the Chowgoos. I like the Chowgoo lace. Mm-hmm. And I like that they have a nice pointy tip on them, but they're not as pointy as the High Sharps. I had a pair of High Sharps, and they actually were putting holes. Why I can't talk today? Putting fingers in my holes. I was getting holes in the end of my fingers, and it wasn't worth it. And so Robin said she would love to have them, and she had a pair of Chowgoo.
The regular ones.
Yeah, they're the regular. They have a bend in them, which I'm not really getting why they have a bend, but the bend does not bother me. I prefer no bend. Even though it doesn't bother me, I don't know, I just feel like somebody sat on them.
Yeah, so. I guess they're supposed to angle inward, but there's really no up and down on a needle, so
and it's not like they swivel, so you could get them technically twisted to where you'd have to rock them back. Yeah. So, but the bend didn't bother me, so you and I switched on that. But I do like the pointier needles better. Right now I'm knitting the two pairs of socks that I'm doing concurrently. I have one on a pair of Chowgoo and one on a pair of Knit Picks. And I really like the tip better on the Chowgoos because it is pointier. Mm-hmm. And so I'm a metal person, and I've tried knitting with the zings. I knit a hat on the zings, and they're okay, but I feel like they do have a little bit of drag to them. I wish they were slicker.
I wonder if they're brushed.
Well, it does. It feels like the metal's brushed where the color part of it is, and so I think it does give it a little bit of drag. And it depends on, I guess, how tight of a knitter you are. Mm-hmm. You knit a lot looser than I do, And so maybe you don't feel the drag as much as somebody. I mean, there are times when I'm having to really shove the stitches, off the cord onto the needle because I do knit so tightly. So, but really don't like wooden needles because of the drag. And I'm not a big fan of any other kind of material, plastic or I think there's casein, and I'm pretty strictly metal needles.
I had a full interchangeable set of the Knit Picks, the acrylic ones, back whenever they did the acrylic ones, and I snapped like 4 of them. So maybe that's why they don't do them anymore.
Yeah, well, and me being a tight knitter, I think I would be breaking wooden needles. Yeah. So I need something that's kind of indestructible.
I've never broken a wooden sock needle, and I've knit a couple pairs on them.
See, and I think I could snap a size 1 needle in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Now, if you have your choice, fixed or interchangeable?
Interchangeable.
Just because you can change them?
Okay, this is going to sound bad. I have a tendency to lose things. So with an interchangeable, if I can't find, usually they come with a set of cords, so I can pick and choose. If I can't find the 32, I can use the 40. So
you're assuming you're losing the cords, not the tips.
Yeah, just pray I don't lose the tips, because if I lose the tips, I'm out of luck.
See, if you had a fixed set, you wouldn't lose 1 tip. See, that would be like,
I lose the whole thing.
I can only find one needle, so
yeah, I'd lose the whole thing. See, this bin right here, you can't see it, it's behind me. Those 2 are only needles, and it's like a black hole. I don't know where they go, because I swear I put this particular size in this bin and it is not there. So yeah, I don't know what happens to my needles. They disappear. They go out for Nightly Johnson, don't come back. I don't know.
Maybe Pearl's knitting with them.
Maybe
that's why she keeps pulling the yarn out, because she needs to start a new project.
But let us know. We're curious to know.
Yeah. What are your favorite kind of needles? Do you like needles that are made out of wood, or do you like needles that have more of a blunt tip? Do you like interchangeables, or do you prefer fixed? Personally, I really don't care either way. I think if I had to choose, I'd choose interchangeable, just because sometimes I'm knitting a shawl and there are a few stitches on it, and then as it grows, I can just change the cord and not have to knit it onto a new. I don't know why. I mean, it's basically the same thing, knitting it onto a new one.
I like you can, if you're doing ribbing and you need to go down or up a size, you don't need to take your project off or knit onto a new needle. You can just change the cords, the tips.
Yeah, and I've really gotten into magic loop. I have no problem knitting with DPNs, but I really like the fact that I can do my hats and my socks in magic loop. And what's really good about doing socks in magic loop, because we do them toe up, you can try them on. Whereas if you're doing them on DPNs, it's, you're really, really magical if you can try your socks on the DPNs.
I like the aesthetic of DPNs. I like how they look, and I like how they tuck flat. But I always get ladders, and I lose one, and I'm stabbing myself, and I can, but I hate it. I hate myself. I hate it the whole time.
Yeah, so I think sometimes your choice in needle preference has to do with your choice in knitting preference, in terms of, when you're knitting something in a small circumference, do you like to do magic loop, or is magic loop not your thing? Some people knit with 2 circs. So then you can go with a smaller size. So anyway, let us know what your preference is in needles, and just leave us a comment down below, and we can talk about it next time. I'm kind of curious to hear what everybody's favorites are. I love the look of wooden needles. I think they're beautiful, but
not for you.
I don't like knitting with wood.
So I think that's all the knitting content we have, right?
Yep, that's it for this week.
So I am not going to show y'all a shop update section this week, partly because it is now 8:30. The shop update went live at 5, and there's not a whole lot left, which is crazy. So thank you if you bought from the shop update. That's crazy. I do have a couple skeins of the Sprinkle Spice Latte. I'm looking at what I have. I have a couple skeins of Voodoo Queen left. And I have 3 skeins of solid tonals on MCN, and that's it. So,
it wasn't that big of an update this week?
It wasn't a big it was a medium update, but I had the God Rest You Merry Hippogriffs, which went really fast. I have a couple people that missed out, so I am going to do it again next week. and I had 12 of those. So that went fast. The Burrow I had Magical Me, I had the Silver Doe, and I had a couple others, and they're all gone. And then I think that's it, really. The Harry Potter clubs are going to go out this weekend, I think. They're all dyed. I just have a handful that are still drying, and then I can pack them up and ship them out. And I have a bunch that have a lot more this month than I did last month, so I think I might end up doing them in waves. Maybe do like a set, like maybe 20 or 30 a day for a couple of days, just because I hate overwhelming the post office.
Yeah, Robin as frequently gets a dirty look when she drops off a bunch of packages. And Etsy's weird, or is it PayPal's
it's
weird?
It's Etsy. Yeah, sometimes, like, whenever people who ship often will know this, but whenever you buy a bunch of shipping labels at one time, it'll prompt you to print a scan form where they can just scan one barcode and all, 20 or 30 or 40 or whatever packages are scanned in. Well, Etsy doesn't always prompt me to do it, and I can't figure out if it's because I thought maybe it was only for recent orders, but sometimes, like, orders that were placed yesterday, I go to ship out and I can't do a scan form, and orders that were placed a month ago, I can. So I have no idea how the algorithm for that works, but they hate me. They really do, I can tell.
Yeah, well, they're like, don't you know you can print out a scan
Every
form?
time, I'm like, yes, I know. We talked about this last time. I can't.
But
I would if I
sometimes
could.
there's no prompt, and there's no way to find on Etsy how to generate a scan form unless you get the prompt. So
you can go in and check the shipping labels to include on a scan form and then print one, but some of them are not compatible. Like, some of them you can't print scan forms for, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, so
but,
anyway,
that's why I would do it, space it out a little bit.
Yeah, because our local post office is small, and so they
don't like me. It's okay.
Well,
I can live with that.
It's not that they don't like you. It's just it's a really small post office. So when you come in with, say, like, what did you say you had this month?
80 something.
So if you have 80 something packages, that is like over on. They only have 2 windows, and that pretty much covers the 2 windows. And if there's anybody else in line, it's like too bad for them.
Yeah. So. Well, I don't need them to scan them all in immediately. So I just put them on the counter, but then there's no space for anything else.
Well, 80 packages wouldn't fit on the counter without falling off.
So it's either sit there and wait for them all to scan in, or sometimes I drop it in the box. I go to the Mandeville one because they have a really big box. They have 3 really huge boxes, and then I feel bad because, like, someone has to go out there and collect it and scan it. And
you can't, the box in Madisonville, you filled up the box before, so nobody else can.
I don't do that anymore.
So nobody else can put mail in it. So
I wasn't thinking that day.
Well, you just don't know when it's going to be full until you go to put another one in, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, and then I don't like to do. I know they'll come and pick it up, but I'm not trusting enough to just leave my customers' orders sitting out on the porch.
I'm not either.
So that's,
I mean, it's an awful lot of packages just to be leaving out there, and people sometimes are just.
I would be heartbroken if, like, I had a one-of-a-kind colorway or, like, a non-repeatable and, like, it got lost and, like, there's no way for me to recreate it. And, like, I can give someone a refund, but, that's, it's not the same. So
sure, absolutely.
It's just easier. I put it in their hands. I see them scan it in.
I mean, it can still get lost from that point.
Yeah.
We've all had mail that have gone rogue.
But, like, I've done all I can do,
You followed all procedures. You didn't leave it up to chance, which you kind of feel like if you're just leaving a big box of packages out in front, you're kind of leaving it to chance that it does get where it needs to go.
Yeah. So, post office ran over.
I don't think it was a post office rant. It's just an explanation of why you may send it out in waves.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to do the people who ordered it towards the beginning of the month. I'll do them first. I'll do it as people ordered it.
Sure.
Because that's probably fairest. But it'll just be like a day or two difference.
Yeah, you're talking. I mean, they're all ready to go. It's just that, you don't want to. Pack off the post office.
I need them. I need them because otherwise I can't ship packages. So
it's not like
me
they
to be
have
nice.
It doesn't. It's not like they have a choice, but you do want to have a pleasant experience because you will see them again.
Yes. So that is all we have for you this time, and we will see y'all in 2 weeks.
That's the plan.
Come knit some spacey socks, and come submit your C's for carrying make-along projects so you can win a prize.
Kelly, let us know that you won the prize so we can let Naomi know that it's going to you.
Cool. Yeah. So, if you're interested in keeping up with our episodes, we would love it if you would subscribe, which is the little button down below.
Oh, yes, please.
We are getting close to 1,000 subscribers. I think we're at 960-ish, which is crazy. So we're going to do a big blowout giveaway for 1,000 subscribers. I'm so excited. I cannot believe that many people are interested in watching us. So thank you guys. If you are a subscriber, thank you for watching. And if you are new, thank you for checking us out. And we will see you next time.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye.